Good morning, it's Brad here with OMH IDM. Just wanted to take a moment this morning to speak a little bit more about our SLG 78 VF2s. This is our skid steer screener. It's been very popular this year. It's been our #1 seller. We've sold several hundred of them just this season. Customers are really enjoying the versatility and how well the machines work. Simplicity also plays a big part in that. These being a zero maintenance machine, they spend more time screening and less time surfacing and repairing. The SLG 78 here, it can be fitted with mesh all the way down to 1/8 of an inch if you're screening sand or for bunkers for golf courses, or if you're doing pipe bedding material where you have a spec that you have to meet. Their guys are using them for making winter sand. They're doing pea gravel with it, landscape rock, just regular road gravel. The primary use for most people is making topsoil. That's why we give such a wide range of screens for this. Like I say, you have the 1/8 mesh for doing the sand. We do a 3/8 mesh for doing sand, and a very fine soil for guys that are doing a top dressing as a fertilizer with their compost. We do a 1/2 inch that'll make a 3/8 product. We do the 3/4 by 4. That's what these come standard fitted with. It's the most common mesh for these machines. It'll make you about a 1/2 inch soil ball product, so something about the size of the tip of your thumb. We do a 1 inch by 4 elongated. That's designed for getting going early in the spring when the stuff is just really wet and you need to get some product for the job. We do an 1.25 inch square pattern, a 2 inch square pattern, and a 4 inch square pattern. 4 inch will make about 3 inch rock. The 2 inch will make about 1.5 inch material. 1.25 inch makes about a 7/8 product. We do these in both elongated and square pattern. The elongated works great with higher moisture. The square pattern is predominantly used more for guys that are doing an aggregate. But they do use it for making a top dressing product also, where it has to go through a spreader. So it takes about 15 minutes to change this mesh out on this machine. It's a single deck screener, so it makes 2 products. It makes your finished product that drops inside the box, and it makes an overage product. There's companies out there that build a 2-deck screen, but it still just makes 1 product. Most of the time, the reason they have a scalping deck on top is because they make a screen deck surface that's narrower than what the bucket of your machine is. So if you have a 6-foot or 7-foot bucket, they've got a 5-foot screen deck. They must put wings onto the side, and those wings come out on a 45. Therefore, when you're feeding it, you're having to keep your bucket a considerable distance above the screen deck. When you're running smaller, finer mesh, and if you have bigger material in it, you have that opportunity to damage it. So then they have to build a scalping cover that goes over top. Works fine, but there's really no added value to it as far as products. What it does sometimes hamper is if you're doing screening changeouts, it slows you down because you've got the mesh that you really want to change down underneath the mesh that you got the mesh over top of the one that you really want to change. The other thing that it kind of can work against you sometimes, if you get stuff that's really wet material, has high moisture. Many times what we'll do with ours is, if you're in super high moisture and you got lots of rock and whatnot, you can take that overage rock, scoop up a bucket full, rerun it, and it'll actually act to clean off this mesh. When you've got a double deck, you don't get that opportunity because it's scalping that big stuff back off again. So the stuff on the bottom will slowly build up on that bottom screen till it plugs it up. Then you're either having to stop and clean your mesh, or you're having to wait for drier screening conditions. So in the end, we've kept this thing really simple. The uniqueness of our screener, you have the ability to put your bucket right on the top of the screen deck. So when you're feeding the machine, you're right on grade. You don't have material dropping 3 and 4 feet. The other thing that makes it nice is it's really easy to feed because you can see the cutting edge of your bucket, you can see the top of the screen deck, you can make contact with those two if you wish, tilt your screen deck down, so it's quick, easy to come in, make the contact. You're not worried if you're driving too far forward, not far enough. It's kind of important because you only have 52 inches of screening surface, and if you drive a foot and a half too far and you're way up above the screen deck on some of the others, you miss half the screen deck while you're screening it. So the SLG machines, you can feed them very, very aggressively, and that makes a big difference at the end of the day to your screening production. If you're close to your pile and you're quick getting up there, you're quick feeding it, you're quick getting back, it can make a difference of 30–40% production over the course of your day, or even on just an hourly basis. So I'm going to go around today and just kind of reiterate some of the features, some of the changes that we made to these machines, and show you some of the benefits of owning a $5,000 screener.